Hello everyone and welcome to Geotech Master. In our previous video, we talked about the different things that influence where we should place our tests and boreholes. Today, we're going to tackle another important aspect of planning a subsurface investigation. How deep should we go? If you're ready to learn more about the depths of investigation, you are in the right place. Have you ever wondered, when you start a site investigation, how deep is deep enough? What happens if we don't dig deep enough, or if we go too deep? In this video, we will answer questions such as, how do we know the minimum depth to investigate? And what are the rules of thumb for determining the depth of borings for different structures? Believe me, these questions are fundamental to have a good and cost-effective investigation program. Before we jump in, let's quickly recap what we covered last time. Remember, we talked about key factors such as investigation objectives, project features, subsurface conditions, anticipated uncertainty, and access constraints that impact how we choose the number and location of our tests and boreholes. Now, we are going to see how these factors also influence the depth of our investigations. If you haven't seen that first video, I recommend checking it out. I have provided the link in the description for your convenience. Alright, let's get started. When we are planning our investigation, the depth of our investigation is another important consideration that is impacted by the project features. For example, our investigation for a bridge needs to be deeper than for a roadway pavement because they have different performance requirements. The depth of investigation should be deep enough to evaluate the performance of the structure and the ground under it. Let's look at some specific examples of how the project feature will determine the minimum depth of investigation. For bridges with shallow foundations, we usually go at least 2 times the width of the footing if the length is less than or equal to 2 times the width. If the footing is longer, for example, 2 times the width is less than or equal to the length, which is also less than or equal to 5 times the width, we should go at least to a depth of 3 times the footing width. If the footing length is greater than 5 times the width, then the minimum depth is 4 times the width. This will make sure that we are investigating deep enough for shallow foundations. When determining the minimum depth for subsurface investigations, it's crucial to consider the presence of soft or compressible materials. The investigation should extend below any such layers and into a competent material. Additionally, if rock is encountered before reaching the depth determined by other criteria, such as multiples of footing width, the investigation should extend a minimum of 3 meters into competent rock. This ensures that the investigation goes beyond problematic materials to reach a stable and reliable stratum. For deep foundations such as piles, we go at least 6 meters or 2 times the maximum group dimension below the pile tip, whichever is greater. And if we are dealing with piles on rock, we should extend our borings to a minimum of 3 meters below the pile tip. For rock-socketed shafts, borings should extend below the anticipated shaft tip a minimum of 3 meters or 3 times the shaft diameter for isolated shafts, or 2 times the maximum group dimension, whichever is greater. It is important to note that these depths are just starting points. We also need to consider the subsurface conditions and stratigraphy. It's always important to go beyond any soft or compressible layers and make sure we have a good understanding of the geology in our project. Again, let's summarize those points. As mentioned, the depths of our investigations are determined by the type of project feature and also the subsurface conditions. Remember that the values in the guideline tables are for guidance and can be adjusted based on the project. A well-planned investigation that includes proper depths will prevent cost overruns and will help us to have a more realistic design. It's important to have a plan that is both practical and effective. Remember, a well-planned investigation saves us time, money, and potential headaches down the road. So, that is it for this video all about minimum depths for subsurface investigations. Before we wrap up, I'd love to hear from you. How do you determine the depth of investigations for your projects? Share your strategies in the comments below, and let's learn from each other. If you found this video helpful, please hit that like button and share it with a friend who might find it interesting too. And don't forget to subscribe to support our channel so we can continue our journey together. For those who want to dig even deeper, you can purchase this course where you don't only have the slides of the presentation, but also the mind map of this topic to learn it more quickly and have a handy note. We also include the related resources in the package for your convenience in response to appreciate your support. The links to the course and related videos are in the description below. These are also some references that I have used to prepare this course. Thank you for joining me today, and see you in the next video.